What's up, everybody? I'm back with some more roller coaster discussion. And I have a case to make, okay? This is a case that I want to plead to the American Coaster Enthusiast Group. You know what they are? I just basically said what they are. They basically are people that it's an exclusive club that rides a bunch of roller coasters and has like special status that they can give to the coasters. And they have a secret club that I'd love to get in. Please let me in. Um, but one of their big things is they mark certain coasters as ACE coaster landmarks. It's a big thing. All the good coasters get it, and they basically don't get it for how great of a ride they are. They get it based on how influential the ride is on the industry and how its impact that it has made and stuff like that. And most of the coasters have are operating that have gotten this status. A couple of them are not around anymore. I think the two that are not operational that have that status are Blue Streak at Kenobi Lake Park, the one that burned down, not the one at Cedar Point, and the one and Big Dipper at Geauga Lake. Both of those, and the Big Dipper was the only one that's been inducted since it was when it was already, it was SBNO, standing but not operating, but really it was not coming back. I'm looking up how many there has to be, but one of the big parks that would think would have a lot of big name, a lot of coasters that have AC's landmark status, be Cedar Point, right? Well, you would be wrong. So out of 45 coasters that have officially gotten the ACE coaster landmark status as of the time I'm making this video, only one has come from Cedar Point. Now there's tentative second. There's a video up on their YouTube channel dedicating it to the Blue Streak at Cedar Point. So maybe that one's going to get AC landmark status. I mean, it's not going to change the ride sucks, but it'd be cool to see you get it. But right now, the only ride that has it, the only coaster that has it at Cedar Point is Magnum XL 200. It's pretty self-explanatory why that coaster has the ACE landmark status. It's the first hyper coaster. It's kicked off the coaster wars. It's just an iconic coaster. Everybody knows about Magnum. But I think there's another coaster at Cedar Point that definitely deserves that status. And fits the criteria very well. And in general, when a lot of people talk about coasters that should get the next ACE landmark status, one that comes to everybody's mind is Millennium Force. I have gotten to ride Millennium Force on multiple occasions, and I think it is an amazing ride, but that is not why we are here, is it? No, it is because why would this ride, deserve to be an ACE coaster landmark up there with all the Beast and the Racer and Magnum and Comet at Hershey Park and all these other coasters, right? Out of all the coasters on that list, outside of Magnum probably, and probably, like, I think Leap the Dips has it too, one of the oldest roller coasters in the world. Like, it's going to deserve to have that status. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I think Millennium Force has a huge case to offer here for having that status. It is one of the most recognizable roller coasters in the world, far more recognizable than Magnum. Everybody and their mother knows what Millennium Force is, okay? It's still, today, even we're highly regarded. 22 years after it opened, it is still highly regarded as one of, if not the best roller coasters in the world. Everyone talks about it. It's just an icon in the industry, okay? People regard it you talk about it being the first Giga coaster, and you also talk about it having those records, and it's won so many Golden Ticket Awards. And it really paved the way. It didn't really pave the way for things to go bigger and better. Millennium Force was more of a product of what Magnum kicked off the coaster wars. Bigger, better, faster, longer, more whippier, faster, everything. Millennium was just a kickoff for that, and it very much baffles me every time I think about it how much impact Millennium Force has had on the coaster industry and how many people still talk about it, how many people still rave about it and love it. There's not a lot of coasters that were built in 2000 that a lot of people would still put inside their top 20 or even their top 15 best roller coasters. I don't know what ranks for me. I currently have 39 credits at the time of this video, so it's not really a great pool to work off of, but still an amazing coaster. And I would love, ACE Coaster Enthusiast Club, I would love to see this coaster grant a landmark, a ACE Coaster landmark status. Now, the one thing holding it back is its age. A lot of the there's been no coasters built in the new Millennium that have gotten the ACE Coaster landmark status. I think the latest the coaster to get that status, I believe, has been the Batman the Ride at Great America, Six Flags Great America, which opened in 1992. I think that is the youngest ride on that list. I'm going to fact check that real quick while I talk about that. But that's mainly why a lot of people think it shouldn't be on there just yet. It's not quite old enough. I want to see what it does. And yeah, it's the oldest coaster. It's the youngest coaster on the list is by far Batman the Ride at Great America. So a lot of people think, it's 8 years older, it's 8 years younger than Batman the Ride. I believe it's had a much greater impact than Batman the Ride. I believe it's had a much greater impact than even the Beast. The Beast is a really well-known roller coaster, but other than its length record, it really didn't hold that much. I mean, Millennium Force, I believe, is held in the same regard as the Beast for many people, so why shouldn't it get that status, a lot of more people, since Millennium Force opened, I think a lot more people, when they think of Cedar Point, they're going to more think of Millennium Force than they are Magnum. And Magnum got that status, and it's not mostly about its recognizability, but how the impact it had on the industry. So I believe Millennium Force deserves to have that status. And we'll see if Blue Streak gets it this year. That'd be cool if it got it. There's not really any other coasters at Cedar Point or really anywhere else that I can think of that really deserve. Some people think New Texas Giant because, the RMC craze. It's way too new. Okay, RMC is only like 11 years old at this point, which is surprising. Because of how big of an impact they've had on the industry. So they gotta pan out a few more years and maybe then they'll consider it. But I think Millennium Force has definitely shown its impact on the industry. When it wins the Golden Ticket Award for Best Ride 15 years in a row, that's something to be said there, I believe. So I think it definitely is up deserving. But I don't even know their criteria, though. Does anybody know? Does anybody in the comments say the criteria? What is the criteria to get that status? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. If you ever ridden Millennium Force, what do you think about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. And until next time, everybody, stay tuned for much more amazing content coming here. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Yeah, bye.